addressed in the manifesto is electoral reform. It is time that we deal with the ship jumping aspect, and this is something that the St. Martin Christian Party parliamentarians will be looking at and ensuring that something will be done, legislation will be put in place, or rules will be set to curb the ship jumping that has taken place and that has caused so much instability in government and even in our country. Another area of electoral reform that we'll be looking at is the synchronization of the dates related to snap elections and the dates related to the regular elections. These two sets of dates need to be synchronized so that we don't get the postponement and the rescheduling of elections once they have been called by the Parliament. Another area that we'll be looking at in terms of electoral reform will be the way that the public endorses the lists after postulation. We realize now, and many people have voiced their concern, that the endorsement is not private, and this is something that needs to be done when the public is engaged in endorsing or even voting. Several other areas that we will be looking at in the manifesto would be, for example, the reduction of the salaries of the members of Parliament. This is an area that we know has been brought to Parliament on previous occasions, and parliamentarians have not supported a motion. The St. Martin Christian Party will again be presenting a motion calling for the reduction of the salaries of MPs by 15%. Now, if this is not passed in Parliament, the MPs of the St. Martin Christian Party have signed a declaration, and this will be in the manifesto, stating that should Parliament not approve the reduction of their salaries by 15%, that the MPs of the St. Martin Christian Party will voluntarily give up 15% of their salary and put it in a foundation that will be established to look after social needs of the people. So that is an area that we're hoping that our Parliament will really consider, given the financial situation that the country is in. We believe that Parliament should set the example and set the tone in terms of financial economics. Then we also believe that the severance pay that parliamentarians get, which is after they have served for a certain amount of time, that they get their salaries for a certain period of time, that severance pay should be reduced, also given the financial situation of the country. We are also going to look at implementing a code of ethics for parliamentarians. Among other things, the code of ethics will indicate that parliamentarians need to declare their assets and their liabilities when they take office, and at the end of the parliamentary period. This is to ensure that parliamentarians are not in Parliament to enrich themselves, but to really work for the people.
I want to talk a little bit about your performance in Parliament. You will be very strict on a lot of things. You hit them to the point. You don't care who they think, but you just wanted to bring them. What was the most hurtful thing for you in the government falling, and especially when some of those topics that you touch in the Parliament, out the Dutch, what they are actually doing to the government that what you was in? Give your views on that.
Well, definitely. I think I was very forceful in the way the coalition was dealing with the coalition. I think it was very sad that the leader of the Democratic Party, now the leader of the UD, is the one who caused the breakup of the government. Someone who has all the experience that they have to put this country in such a position at the time that the people needed everyone on deck. They choose for self and self alone. Nothing to do with the country, why they break the government. I was very forceful on the way the issue of the aid was talked about because it had conditions to the aid. Conditions such as an integrity chamber, conditions such as border control. Those are things that absolutely no country in the world who is in need of help should be put to conditions such as those. When people are in need of help, to see your brothers and sisters, partners within a kingdom, choose to use aid and integrity chamber, border control on the people, and then the magic aid continues to accept it, and today we still don't see the aid. Exactly what we fought about and talked about on the floor of Parliament. And then the issue of who got aid from who didn't get aid. That was the responsibility of the DP minister at that time, Emily, who's now part of the UD party. That is one of the things that I keep telling the people. You are the one responsible for the aid. Why haven't the people of this country received aid? If there was anyone to blame concerning how aid was distributed, who didn't get, was the Minister of Health and Labor at that time. He chose to allow the civil servant, without no guidance, without no supervision, by him person, to continue to work tremendously, but he left it for them to do it alone. Absolutely not. That should never be the case.
Now, the President of Parliament is coming up with an issue. I don't know what sense it's going to make, but probably you could be able to help me out with that. That some kind of how she seems like she wants the elections to reverse, and I think that cannot happen because it's kind of too late now. She asked the Prime Minister, she sent a letter to the Prime Minister that is something illegal in the setting up of the election. You were part of that government. If something has been done illegal?
Definitely not. I think if anything was done illegal, the governor wouldn't have signed off on it. I think that is the importance of it, that the governor will make sure that these things are done right before he put his signature to anything where that's concerned. I think it's unfortunate that the good chair lady seems not to want to at least let the election continue. She realized that the decision that they took to join and merge with the UD is backfiring because they sold a myth about aid that the people would get if the magic aid come together where that's concerned. I think it's unfortunate. Unfortunate that now the good chair lady, the leader of the UD, is now talking about reversing, postponing the election. The people have already went through a hurricane. The people already went through breakup of government. The people need a stable government. The people need a commitment from a government who's there to support them, not politicians who look for self, but not the people. And I believe to see that the chair lady today, the leader of the UD, who's trying to postpone this election, is totally wrong. Allow the people to make a decision. Allow the people now to vote for those who was in government, looking out for the interests of the people and not the interests of self. We did not came with any projects. We did not came with any, let's say, new things that we wanted for any friends. We did not come to the coalition meeting to talk about a badge getting permission to go in the lagoon illegally to take up sinking boats. We did not. The Democratic Party was the one who came in the coalition furious concerning why we didn't allow the badge in order to operate illegally in the lagoon. These are the things that they wanted, and we said absolutely not. The civil servants has a job to do. The civil servants need to carry out their duties according to the law. And we cannot now look to want to break the law because you wanted the law to be broken to satisfy whoever you wanted to satisfy at that time. Absolutely not.
Now, like you said earlier, we went through a hurricane and your party was in government. I know for sure it's a big talk out there that why the parties then would have election now. People are not going to vote because they are in need of assistance help. How your party going to able to champion that, to able to get help to the people and have people to support the party?
Well, definitely. Our party have come up with a plan. As you can see, the plan, the brochure that we have, it outlines, let's say, the areas that we want to bring relief to the people. When we look at it and we see the need in order for job creation, in order to bring more business back, we talk about reducing the turnover tax from 5% to 3%, which brings an easement on the people who are buying and purchasing, which brings an easement on the business community. Secondly, we believe we have the highest profit tax within the whole region of 34.5% profit tax. We are saying absolutely, if we want to be competitive, if we want to change, and we want to increase business on this island, let's make sure we bring it down to 15%. And then we talked about so often, which we believe, that there should be a living wage for our people. In order for that to be done, it's going to take some time. We believe we need to go now to a stable and solid, good $1,000 minimum wage for our people at this time. And we believe within 6 months, we should have that done, ready for the people. We also believe that we should be able to build 250 to 500 homes over 4 years. Over 4 years, we believe that can happen. That is what we believe in. We believe in order to job creation, to bring back business, to give business a breed, an easement in order to invest, reinvest back in this country. We can no longer continue to be the highest tax-based island in the Caribbean. We are not competitive anymore. Sabre Station, who part of the kingdom, the best islands, has a lower profit tax than we do. So we need to be able to compete on that whole level that offers businesses, new businesses to come to this country, and also those who are here to get an easement, a break, while we are going through a rough time of unemployment that is taking place on this island. So we believe that those issues are very important, along with the other issues of rebuilding, giving credit to people who own their own home, and offer them decent amount of rebuilding aid is what we believe in. What we are hearing out there, what is being offered, can't really help one to rebuild their roof and rebuild their home accordingly. And we know we would assess that when we go back in the government to change that because of the high cost of building, the high cost of material on this island.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NV.
Minister of Education, you touched on the fact that there's a educational opportunity training construction workers in Trinidad. I'd like to remind people as well that White and Yellow Cross has a training program for 50 persons, also for basic construction as well as healthcare assistance. You know, this all is in line with government's priority to make sure that our people acquire the skills that they need to in order to participate in our economy. Clearly, our economy is a different economy. Our normal tourism economy has been badly damaged, our infrastructure, our airport, and that means there's a certain limit in terms of what our tourism economy can provide for this next year, perhaps 2 years. In the meantime, we need to make sure that our people acquire the skills that they can participate in our reconstruction economy, and we encourage you to do that. You know, the discussion is going to come about new developments or projects that need to be rebuilt, and the country is going to be faced with fundamental questions about, do you grant permits for other construction workers to come in to help to rebuild the properties, or do we have the people locally to participate? And so it's up to us to make sure that if we want our people to participate, that you acquire the skills necessary to do that. You have our commitment that we recognize, and it is our goal to make sure that our population participates as much as possible in the recovery process, but you need to make sure that you have the skills there to do that. Regarding the SMMC, as you know, since Hurricane Irma, we've been relentless in trying to secure financing for the new hospital. The World Bank has representatives that are here already. They are working on what's called a RAS agreement, a Reimbursable Advisory Services Contract. This is the first phase of World Bank's assistance to the island. And one of the things that we've agreed is that we're looking for an injection, a grant of about $25 million for the hospital in order to make the hospital Category 5 proof. We believe that that money needs to come in as a grant, not as a soft loan. And we're making a case to the Netherlands, but also we've begun, based on our conversations this week with representatives from the World Bank, for them to begin that evaluation process for the hospital project as well. An early commitment, and we've made this point clear to them, we don't need the money right now. We need the commitment. We need the reassurance that Holland will participate because it affects our design process. And as you know, making changes in designs costs money. Without the commitment, what it means is we will work on the design for the new hospital, the financing for the main building, but we will leave the extra wing off for now, which means later, when the money for that wing comes in, we will have to change the design again and trying to figure out how to connect the two buildings, which of course we'll take into consideration now, but there will be costs associated with it. So the sooner we can make the decision about whether that investment is possible or not, the better it is for the country and the better it is for the efficiency and scheduling of the project. The project clearly is critical for the country going forward. It's a critical infrastructure. It's a clear priority for both the government and for the community. I mean, this was expressed prior to Irma, and Irma's only reinforced that need. And the project is decision ready. I mean, there's a lot of projects that government is looking to have financed, but this is a project that, because of the coincidental timing, has already much of the documentation needed in place. We have already been through the review by CFT from SOAB. So I believe that this is a decision-ready project, and we hope that Holland and the World Bank will prioritize the commitment. Again, not necessarily the funds, simply the commitment to the project. I do believe that it's a good point to show that, you know, this is where if you take the time to execute, make sure your documentation's in place, that you do with integrity, with transparency, and a proper bidding procedure, that it has benefits. For example, if you look at the agreement from the World Bank, one of their critical points as they evaluate projects is to make sure that it follows World Bank procurement guidelines. What they mean is, if you execute a service, if you want something to be paid for, they want to make sure that the process was a process done with transparency and with integrity. The last thing the World Bank wants is to be associated with some sort of a project that has something that's not gone ethically correct. So the project is done according to FIDIC Gold contract guidelines, and I believe that that again means, even according to World Bank standards, that the project will very much fit in their fund.
As we look around, we can look at the damages that have taken place with Hurricane Irma, and we can categorize it in 3 types of damages. Those homes that have minimal damage, where only the zinc came off. Those homes that have more partial damage, where the zinc came off, the rafters came off, and part of the ring beam and the structure is damaged. And those structures that are totally gone, like these. And what I would like to indicate is that we need to try our best and help all the people, while we understand that helping people with minimal damage costs less than those who we have to help with partial damage or those with total damage. However, the 550 million euros that came from Holland to help the people of St. Martin. And we must try our best and help as much as possible. You can imagine that those persons who have totally lost their homes need to be rebuilt. Either we are going to build new homes or we're going to rebuild their homes. But we must try our best to help all the people and as much as them as quick as possible.
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun miles, from within your reach.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
As far as the Ministry of Tourism, or TIAD, is concerned, I've also, you may have noticed on Monday last week, visited the airport and had a little tour of what was going on. And since then, we know we have had a meeting with them yesterday as well, with not only the managing board, but also the supervisory board, the interim chairman of the holding, and also their representatives, whether it's from the adjusting part of it and the insurance claims part of it, as well as the design and also the financing part of it, which is the bond. So that stakeholders meeting went really well yesterday. Lots of questions were answered and cleared up, and I think we're going to be moving far ahead with the airport because they also started their cleanup, and their demolition is scheduled to start on Monday the 29th. I hope to be there to make sure that the first crowbar that goes in is mine, because the airport is so important for our economy, and we cannot, of course, play any games with it. We have to make sure that it gets up and running and in the right condition. We want to build back bigger, better, and stronger as well. We also toured the Asiwati cruise facilities, the harbor, and we saw some of the damage there as well. One of the piers were also damaged, and we are looking at how fast this will be repaired. That's going well as well, and we know that within short that it's going to be up and running. We also have some meetings planned with the French side because I believe that we need to have a unified approach to bring in businesses as well as tourists back to St. Martin. Last night, the Prime Minister will probably touch base on it, but from an economical point of view, I want to thank the firefighters for the work that they did from yesterday morning until the wee hours of last night, simply because it was in an economic center, in the warehouses, and they were able to contain it and not allow it to spread to the other buildings. And, after Irma, we don't need any more losses of businesses and jobs, so I am grateful for the work that they've done. We also had a St. Martin Tourism Bureau and St. Martin Hospitality and Trade Association Strategic Marketing Summit that was held last week, Wednesday as well. Great things coming out of it. We talked about the timeline for the restart of the full marketing campaigns. Both public and private sectors agreed that we should focus on our PR efforts immediately, followed by a marketing campaign that would run simultaneously with the recovery of hotel inventory. As far as the hotel and tourism product inventory, stakeholders have agreed to a more unified, systematic approach to a roadmap to hotel room and product inventory. As far as the Airbnb, because we know that that's also a market that we have to watch, discussions will continue or will be taken with them as well. And when it comes to funds or funds for AIDS, some of these funds will go towards retraining displaced workforce, as well to supplement the tourism budget for a major marketing campaign whose plan can be developed jointly by stakeholders and government. On Monday, there will be a Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association Caribbean Travel Marketplace in Puerto Rico, and we intend to be part of that because we have some very important meetings with stakeholders, owners of hotels as well, and we will be participating in that.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
1,
2,
3,
4. This is how common it is to develop a mental illness. 1 out of every 4.
4,
4.
4. But there is hope. Today, most mental illnesses can be managed and treated. Visit your general doctor if you feel concerned about your thoughts and behaviors or have some difficulty dealing with some of life's issues.
If you have been diagnosed and are suffering from a mental illness, keep in mind these 4 points to help you manage your mental health.
1. Get regular checkups with your general doctor.
2. Stay on your treatment plan to prevent relapses.
3. Find a strong support group in your family and friends.
And 4. Never be afraid to ask for help and look out for the warning signs of your illness.
Remember, you are not alone. We are as close as one.
2.
3.
4.
Learn about mental health illness by going to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
This is a part of the politics I don't like, but it's a part that I play very well because you are my colleague and we have taken decisions together. Now all of a sudden we have breaking away and you are exposing my dirty laundry, which is forcing me to expose yours. Because you want to review all the decisions that was taken by the outgoing cabinet. Sure, it's not a problem. Go ahead and review. But in the meantime, whilst you're reviewing that, also review the court case with VAMID for the bidding of the hospital that you caused as the people of St. Martin, to pay 1 million euros. 1 million euros. Because the bidding was manipulated. And the judge said, no, you have to pay That is your accomplishment. So I hope you review that also and explain to the people of St. Martin why. You see, these are the things that we eventually start to crawl and come out. This is the politics I don't want to do. Because people of St. Martin deserve better than this. But every day people are losing their jobs. Every day, hotels are telling people, we're putting you down to 4 days, 3 days, and 2 days. There's a labor crisis in this country, and the labor minister has absolutely nothing to say. He has said nothing about it, and when he's questioned, he says, yeah, but my SGs are dealing with it. So you have relegated your responsibility to your subordinates. So why are you a minister? Then you shouldn't be no minister, because you're incompetent. But then one need to see his profession. He's a hotelier. So his concern is a hotel business, not employees. But yet you're the minister of labor. These are the things people need to know. So of course he wouldn't show no interest in individuals that are losing their jobs. A next question they need to ask the Minister of Health. The company that's supposed to be doing the hospital, where is that office located? Where is it? You see, we can go over and over all these sort of things. Do the people of St. Martin deserve it? No. What they deserve is proper health care, affordable homes, decent schools, decent roads, a healthy living lifestyle, a livable wage. Now, a livable wage falls under Minister Lee. Healthcare falls under Minister Lee. Vouchers falls under Minister Lee. Emergency shelters fall under Minister Lee.